As a quick refresher on your slope staking, you want to set your instrument up somewhere that is hopefully higher than everything, but there will be some cases out on this site where it won't be. Right? You need to compute your instrument HI, right, which is your dBm elevation plus your backside is equal to your instrument HI. Everybody remember that from level reading? Okay. You're going to record that in your book. You have a list that gives you all of your hinge point elevations for each station. Okay. Difference in the hinge point and HI, okay, so you subtract those two, is going to be equal to your grade rod. You're going to need to write down what your grade rod for each station is going to be. And actually, since we have a super elevation, you're going to have a different grade rod on the left-hand side of the road than you are from the right-hand side of the road once you leave, okay, your last normal crown section. And those grades are all on your grade sheet. That's your grade rod. Okay, let's say you're doing this side of the road first. Then you take a shot on the ground, okay, which is lower than what the road's going to be built at, right? So then we have the difference between the grade rod and ground rod multiplied by your slope. That tells you how far to go out from the hinge point for your next shot. Okay. Everybody remember that from last week's activities?
Are we given the slope?
Yeah, these I believe are all 2 to 1. I'll verify that for you. Okay, because we needed to keep this thing tight so they didn't spread out beyond our project zone in that lab area. Okay. So the greater S is, the farther out those daylight lines will actually find the catch point, because that's what we're looking for down here is your catch point. Leave the hinge point and go to the catch point.
So once we measure 15 feet out from the center line, do we need to then measure out the distance from the hinge point to the catch point?
Yes. So what'll happen is you'll pull 15 feet out to mark your catch, your hinge point. Okay, and then the person holding back tape will move to the hinge point. All the distances will be measured from there. Okay, after that first rod shot is taken. So once you get this distance using your difference in grade rod and what you actually shoot, you go out and take another shot. If that rod, okay, if that next rod height matches the previous rod reading within, say, 2/10, that's your catch point. Okay, and that distance works. If it doesn't, you repeat the process. What's the difference between my grade rod and my ground rod? Okay. This first one might have said, hey, you need to go out 8 feet. Okay, I had a rod reading, let's just say of 6.5, go out 8 feet. And now it says, all right, I don't read 6.5, I read 7 feet. Okay, then I do ground rod minus grade rod again, times my slope. And it says, okay, so then I need to go out however much farther from the hinge point that distance is calculated to be. Until your last two rod shots match within a tolerance of what we're calling 2/10 for this exercise. I'll be right there.
So what are we recording?
Okay, so what do you record? The most critical things you record are your HI, your calculated grade rod elevations for each station and each side of the station. Okay, so for the first couple, you'll be okay, but once you get into tangent run out section and all of a sudden you're no longer in a normal crown, then one side's going to be different than the other side. So you got your HI, your grade rod, your ground rods. And now all of these intermittent calculations, you don't necessarily have to write them all down. However, I will say life will probably be easier if you do write them all down. The ones that you need to write down is your last one. Actually, because once you find your catch point, then you're going to measure out 10 feet, okay, and mark where you would put your 10-foot offset, and then record that rod reading. So the rod readings that you need to record are your last rod reading that found the catch point, and then the 10-foot offset point. So it'll be rod readings that got you to the catch point, and the distance from the hinge point to the catch point are what you're going to are mandatory that you record in your book. Does that make sense? Okay. Just real quick.